Alright, I clicked it. Peace, peace, peace. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? So I am here at home at the Motherful Temple. What was I about to do? Let's see. And I already went live, but I went on live on TikTok. And right now, I got a lot to say. So let me just start by putting one foot, one in front of the other. Just getting a link here before I start to place this right in here. But yo, so much happening right now, so much happening. And first, before even beginning, I want to extend gratitude for everything that has been supporting me, everyone on my journey. And I'm grateful for all of you who are tuning in. And I want to express the importance of gratitude and it being a very ancestral and powerful tool in medicine to help us just to create and embody that energy of gratitude and love that keeps generating and creating more of those opportunities in our lives. So, like I said, I want to express gratitude because right now I have an amazing opportunity. My children are in the United States right now to visit family. They had to go back and renew their passports and just get a lot of things done that they need to do there. You can say administratively. So my family, my wonderful mother who's always supporting me, telling you like no love like a mother's love. My mother has always been supporting me. And no matter how challenging she has it, she makes a way to make it easier for me. So in all that I'm doing, I have that gratitude for my mother and for all mothers, especially single mothers and women that are rising and hearing the call and rising and overcoming all kinds of adversity and challenges and persevering and like being a loving presence on so many levels, you know? Where would this world be without mothers and women that are caring and loving? And that gets to the heart of what I'm here to say today is Mother Earth herself is calling for us to embody that change and level of consciousness and energy to clean up our relationships, our relationship with ourselves, with each other, and our families and our lineages and our communities, and our relationship or lack thereof with the earth, you know, with nature. And to understand that we are a part of nature. And right now, for so many years, because of capitalism and the illusion of infinite growth, like that is something to strive for and profit and profit and profit at the expense of the ecosystem, at the expense of Black and brown bodies, at the expense of the rivers and the communities and these knowledge systems that were in some places taken away because of the interruption and the disconnection that colonization and so many other dysfunctions have caused. So this is the heart of the work that I'm called to do, to talk about things, cultural repair, you know, look at the word, the root of the word culture is cult, right? And we are in the craziest cult there is Western society where we have normalized dysfunction, you know, and we need to Sankofa and go back to the things that work for our ancestors. And then it's going to call for us to be good ancestors today to our descendants that are coming, that we are borrowing the planet from, you know, to step up as leaders and walk in truth and righteousness, to be the people who we need to be to create the change and the liberation on this planet. And that starts within each and every one of us and what we choose to do with our attention and intention and our actions and energy every single day. You're that important. So I'm here doing what I do and on this same vision and mission I've been on for so many years. Because maybe at one point I couldn't articulate it or I didn't have it all together. I still don't even today. I'm still understanding and coming into the different levels and trusting of how it will unfold and come out and manifest. And it comes through me through different levels of guidance. Like today I woke up from a dream, a vision that I was having, where this man, somehow we were connected and I told him my vision and he was on board and wanted to get me the resources to fund the earth regeneration, the generation, and getting the resources to Mother Earth, to women, to mothers who are the change makers, that are doing the grassroots efforts to create balance and reciprocity and regeneration upon the land, the people in our communities, and within our own hearts and consciousness. This is the work of our time. And I know it's challenging. It's challenging for me. But I'm grateful that I have the level of awareness to be able to have the skills and the tools to persevere and have resiliency through these challenges. And this is the time that we're in, this great transition where we're being called to listen. We're being called to slow down. And we're also being called to take aligned action, not just selfish action in service to ourselves and our own egos, but aligned action for all of our relations. So I'm here doing the work. I'm doing the work, but the work, the liberation requires capital and resources. And this was the dream I had this morning. This man was like, I was somewhere with like, these people, these men that were in the world of, the corporations and governments and, different things, but they have amassed wealth and capital, and not always through, like, say, reciprocal ways. Many of these corporations and lineages have gained wealth and resources through plummeting the earth and extraction, enslavement and genocide, and this death cult that we're in. So we need cult. We need culture. We need aligned culture. We need roots and culture. You understand? We need roots and culture. So we need to get back to the roots of the tree of life and of truth. And when you get to the roots and you nourish the roots, you know that nourishment will go towards the branches and the fruits. Did y'all hear what I said? Can I get an amen? Can I get an ankh, a hallelujah, something? But I'm being serious though. So I myself, I know this time that we're in, there's so much aligning and being revealed and so much clarity. So I'm grateful to have this platform to share this message, because as we're in this age of Aquarius, and Aquarius represents technology. So it's like with anything, with money, energy is neutral. And it depends on the consciousness of the person who has the energy, who are directing the resources, and what we're focusing on. So the resources, the money that is being used to fund war and genocide and continue this death cult can be redistributed and reinvested and put to be in service of life. And that's the vision and mission. Earth Regeneration Fund. We got money for war and all this shit. There's definitely money and resources infinitely to invest back into the earth and systems that actually sustain life. You understand? This is the work of our time. Divesting our resources from the death cult and the war machine and investing it into life. And that's what money and resources was always supposed to be meant for. To be stewarding life. Not to be funding death and our demise. So I am here to continually broadcast this message and transition that I've been receiving for many years, but I had to become this person today so that I can be empowered to utilize my voice and to speak truth fearlessly so that y'all can hear me, so that y'all can feel me, and ultimately so that we can awaken and take unified and aligned action to shift the shit. It's time. It's time. So y'all follow along, man. I'm utilizing this platform to reach millions around the world and to regenerate the earth. And that starts within the hearts and minds and spirits of each and every one of us. We have to do the inner work to shift the shit, to let go of the programming, the limiting beliefs, the stories and assumptions, the limitations, the traumas that we have endured and over-identified with and become. But underneath all of that is the crystalline, pure, divine self. What they call the return of Christ is the return of the Christ light and consciousness that is within you. And billions and trillions of dollars have been spent on keeping you asleep. The ads, the internet, even the social media. You know, we all need money to survive and thrive. And these platforms make it a way where it monetizes your attention. And many of us are chucking and jiving and just doing things to just gain views and to be entertainment. But we got to move beyond entertainment and entertaining the lower self and lower nature. And we got to elevate. We have to elevate. Or else we'll be stuck in the same fear programming paradigm that harvests and steal our creative and divine energy. We need to take that back and direct it to the vision, the transformation, the inspiration that we feel within our hearts, and the desire for change and growth. We have to unify and redirect our energy, our resources, our consciousness into the future and the reality that we desire and want to create, where we can all thrive and live harmoniously. Because we have all the information that is necessary. We have the people and the manpower. The resources are here. It's just a lack of vision and unifying. Because if we're all in this fucking paradigm of capitalism and surviving, every man for himself, the survival of the fittest, you know, like all these westernized concepts that are based in separation and fear and division and competition, we got to let that shit go and get back to the natural self. Look at nature. If you want to read a book and learn something, fuck them universities. You know, not all of them. Some places there's good knowledge that are being held and transmitted. But go and sit in nature. Get rid of the noise and the programming and the conditioning of the monkey mind and what you've been taught to think and believe. And just go sit in nature and let all of that go. Look at the trees. Look at the animals and the ants and the cycles and patterns within nature herself. You'll learn so much. You'll learn so much. And then it will also unlock that connection to knowledge and the true self that is within you. The greatest book that you can ever read is yourself. The book of the universe, of the cosmos. But so many of us are so busy being entertained, we never slow down to actually speed up, because we're connecting to true information and consciousness and expansion. 9 times out of 10, just do the opposite of whatever the system is telling you to do. Like, listen, I chose to have my children at home because I was like, the hospital, no. And I do understand that some people need that state of emergency and reassurance to be in the hospital, but the body has been doing it a long time before there was ever a hospital. So there's an innate intelligence in your body, and it's called physiological birth. When you feel safe, your body knows what to do and it won't be interrupted by the fear hormone or interruptions in the external world. You're able to go in a way primal and divine and connect, and the body knows what to do innately. But a lot of times our biology is interrupted by the mental crap and the stories. So these practices that are ultra important, and this is what I was talking about earlier, is the practices. Over these last 20 years, I have studied and learned so much, remembered so much, attained so much wisdom. But when it came down to it, it wasn't being in the mental sphere so much and in that masculine side. It was doing the practices, right? It was doing the practices that would help me to shift and create the transformation so that the universe would just be open to me to be able to channel and transmit this information and knowledge. So that is when you've done the work to just clear and be a clear channel. You can be in the here and now and access information, the past, whatever, but you're present and you're a clear channel. Sometimes we have too much information. You can turn on, you have a computer in your pocket. This is a computer I'm talking into right now in the palm of my hand. But we have so much mental stuff going on and we're so busy. We have too much information. It needs to be grounded and anchored to now say, you know what, I'm gonna pick one thing and be consistent and do that every day. You know what I mean? Because we live in our minds and can experience another reality all in our minds, but then never take action in the physical world. So this is how a lot of people can use information and the technology and even spirituality as a way to escape from this reality. But you're already spirit, you're already expansive. You've been called to open up and ground that spiritual, expanded, divine energy into the physical world, and then to create from that space of expansion and love and connection, and to materialize that vision that you have now received, and to create something in the physical world. So that's what I'm called to do, and to share this vision and this mission and this information with you. And like I said, this dream that I was having this morning, and I'm being shown what needs to happen, is the redistribution of the funds that we freely give and utilize to fund the systems and systems of destruction. And we need to redirect those funds into regenerating the planet and all the projects and missions that people are doing, like indigenous souls. We need to fund the revolution, invest in the regeneration of the planet and the ecosystems, and to fund the people that are doing these works and efforts. And this comes down, like, once again to Alma Indigena, all the indigenous peoples that have been safekeeping the resources and the planets and the rivers and the trees and the knowledge systems and ways of being. So in this point where we are in history and in reality now, when so many of us have forgotten, and we're being called to remember and wake up, and like I said, redirect those resources into the regeneration, into the healing, into the liberation and elevation of consciousness and its manifestation and expression on the planet. Because that's all we're seeing today, is the manifestation and expression of our level of consciousness, or the lack thereof, as within, so without. So I'm here cleaning up and organizing, and I wanted to share this message with you. And also, we got some we got some retrogrades happening, and then also Saturn is very active for me as well, because I utilize this very ancient system called the Cards of Your Destiny. And this is also what I built my community on, to share this knowledge so that you can attain knowledge of self and get on that journey And when you're on that journey now, you can know more of why you're here, your purpose, your path, and how you can be of service. But it starts with that commitment and getting on the path. So that's the path I've been on the last 20 years of doing the work personally for myself while raising my daughters and being of service and teaching and doing different things. So this stage of my life I'm in, the next 13 years that started on my birthday in the end of the year, December 25, I've begun my 13-year Jupiter period. So this period is all about expansion into the work that I'm here to do and to be of service. And that has a lot to do with my voice and channeling these messages, but then also inspiring others to take action and to be the change and to do the work, build the systems brick by brick. But it starts with that shift in consciousness. So as I said, I'm here now in my Saturn period of this year. The next 52-day period I'm in, this 52-day period I'm in is my Saturn period. And I'm also a Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So this is all about, Saturn is like, a lot of people fear Saturn. There's this negative thing like Saturn is going to be hard, challenges. But no, Saturn is the father, the law. And it's all about discipline and doing the work necessary and laying the foundations to see putting in the work so that you can harvest and reap the fruit. So right now for me, it's all about creating order and organization and laying the bricks for, the next year or the next 5 years, the next 15 years. As we're in this period of transformation and transition on the planet, we have to lay the bricks. We have to lay the bricks for what comes next. And like I said, funding the regeneration of the planet instead of willingly and most times unwillingly or unconsciously funding our funding our destruction, our own demise. Because we're not separate from nature. We're definitely not. But we have this illusion that nature is over there and it's something I go visit. But fuck around and find out. You're in the cities and disconnected from nature and in the buildings, and you think everything is good and you can send the trash away and pollute and not really see the impact of your actions directly at that moment. But Saturn, karma's a bitch. So we're being called right now to change our ways as humanity. And like I said, reinvest our resources that we fund the death cult with into regeneration, funding the projects of regeneration, funding the village, funding the children and regenerative information and education, connecting to ancestral wisdom and knowledge systems, and fund the people who are on the ground doing the work of healing, of regeneration, of liberation. So click the link in my bio, support Motherful Columbia, join my community, because this is my life work. This is what I'm committed to. This is it for me. I can't do nothing else. Because with great power comes responsibility. So once you awaken and you get that call, like, you know what you're supposed to do. If you try to do anything else, it just keeps coming I keep coming back to the same thing. This is what I'm here to do. So y'all gonna get tired of me. Maybe not. Maybe you like it. Maybe you're fed up with enough with how this shit is, this system, and you want change. Sometimes you gotta get tired of being tired to be like, all right, man, I'm ready. Well, let's go. How bad does it have to get? And it's just a decision and making the choices every single day. Put your life in dedication to regenerating the planet and to the healing and the liberation. Put your life in service to the Divine Mother, to the planet. It's like two beautiful birds just like flying. Wow. This is my view. I'm not going to be on here forever because I'm supposed to be like cleaning and working and reorganizing. Like I said, this is my Saturn period. So all my books, I'm going to take it from here, organize, and get this co-working and communal space together. Oh man, I have so many books and notes from over the years that I need to organize and kind of create a knowledge system and different courses to get this information out there. This was the workbook I created last year for the Equinox Eco Village retreat I had. Rebuilding self, community, and planet through love, reciprocity, and awareness. So I made this book. So this is for the retreat participants. We begin with setting our intentions. What am I ready to let go of? What I hope to embrace. So here was the daily breakdown of the retreat. So day 1 was the arrival and welcome. Day 2 was like really connecting with the land through sacred ceremony and pagamentos. Day 3 was like letting go. So we did a combo ceremony and did some building around the property, visiting a Kogi village and the waterfall, a sacred hike. Day 5 was more resting and chilling. Then it was the lunar eclipse, and that focus was transformation. Then we also did some natural building and making a natural structure in the land where the retreat was held. Day 8 was amazing because we had an amazing mushroom ceremony on the beach. Like, I've been hosting mushroom ceremonies for some years now. I've been working with the sacred medicine, and at one point it told me, become the medicine. And that's when things went on another level, and I started to work with, mushrooms and psilocybin more. So this is a powerful, powerful ceremony on the beach. I actually got a local artist that, that's a singer that sings sacred music, because I love singing sacred music. So me and him held the space for the ceremony, the feminine and then the masculine supporting me. So everyone was spread out on the beach in different areas and had their places where they had their little cove, for their ceremony. And we cleaned up the space and got it ready, very intentional, and really connected and created the sacred container for this mushroom ceremony. And then for the ceremony, when everybody got going, and we would just walk around from person to person, holding space for them and singing to them. And it was such an amazing, amazing thing. I want to do that again. Then we had the full moon and the temescal. That was beautiful. It was just a powerful time because this was during the equinox, the spring equinox. And there was just so many alignments, like the full moon and the lunar eclipse. Then we had a dragon dreaming workshop on the beach. I love dragon dreaming because it's something I learned through the Eco Village movement. And it's a way for the co-creation of projects and the longevity and actualization of projects that are in service to the planet. And we had a permaculture day where my friend Ethan came over and talked about permaculture, and we looked at the land and did different things like that. And we did have a rest and integration day because it was a lot happening. And then on the last day, we had Canto el Agua ceremony, which is a day every year in Colombia where everyone in different places sing to the water and does this ceremony. So it's a powerful experience, and I'm looking forward to doing more retreats and events and just sharing the knowledge that I've learned all these years that are ultimately in service to the planet, for our own healing and liberation, and for the regeneration of community, of the planet, of so many beautiful things. So click the link in my bio, support the mission and vision, whether you buy a book, whether you donate monetarily to Motherful Colombia, which all donations are a tax benefit or a tax write-off because Motherful is a nonprofit. So there's that benefit of giving and giving and giving. You can join the community. You can buy one of my books, or you can, find out about mentoring and all the things that I offer. So have a beautiful day. Like I said, I'm here cleaning up and organizing, going through my books and all my stuff. And I was just reflecting on the retreat and this beautiful book that I created. So if you want to know more about whatever, all the things I talk about, I'm also open to travel and going to different places to teach and hold retreats and ceremonies and, regenerate the earth. It's time, contact me to collaborate, for partnerships. This is the time. We need divine partnerships where we're in service to the planet, in service to each other, and in service to love and being the change. See you later, or maybe I'll see you in Colombia. We have the Motherful Temple here and Healing Sanctuary. So if you're a woman and you want to come and get some time to go within and to be in community, to eat some good food, to experience some therapies and nature connection, send me a message. Peace and love.